What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRT. I hope your week was well. I am super excited about today's guest. His name is Mateo. Mateo was an absolute pleasure to have on. We talked about Black queer slash trans representation, which I've talked about in the past on the podcast, but I haven't gone super in depth about because I didn't want to put words in anybody's mouth. I wanted to wait until somebody had the knowledge on it to talk about it, and it was a great episode. I learned a lot. I love what Mateo is doing on TikTok and on all of his platforms. You should definitely go follow him. He's doing a great job at educating people about the Black trans community and how much more representation they need because they very much do need a lot more. So yeah, stay tuned. Check out the whole episode. Stay till the end. And make sure you follow me at HRT Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. I post in there almost every single day. Join my Discord. Subscribe to my Patreon. Come watch my live streams Wednesday night. Go watch After Dark. Subscribe to me on here. I would appreciate it. I love you so much. Let's go talk to Mateo. I love you. Bye. All right. Let's start by asking you where you're from.
I am from a little big city called Sanford, Florida. Yeah, yeah,
That's in Florida.
yeah. It's like
Okay.
near Orlando, in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How does Florida treat you as a trans person?
Truthfully, I haven't encountered anything but like detrimental. But for the most part, I feel like it's really accepting here. Like the queer communities here are very strong together, and you know, Florida is a quiet, a quiet. I like to call it quiet homophobic state. Like they won't harm you or say nothing to your face, but they will respect you long as you respect them. So
Got you. Yeah, I have a couple friends from Florida who were past guests you guys technically or most of the time say the same thing about
yeah.
Florida. I feel like I'm from New York, so
Oh,
whenever I hear stuff about Florida, it tends to be like, oh no, I don't know if I would want to live in
oh
Florida.
yeah. I felt that.
Yeah. How old are you, Mateo?
I am 20. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 23. I'm 23. Yeah, I'm a
I,
2000 baby.
all right, okay, you're younger than me. I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
sweet.
I was like, okay, you could pass for 20. I love to see it. Now, Mateo, are you on hormones?
Yes, I am. I take testosterone.
Period. Love to see it. I knew that, but had to ask.
Yeah, some people are, and that's okay. We love you guys too.
Imagine if you said no, I'd be like, damn, you're passing really well.
I was thinking about it.
You'd be like, nah,
Yeah, nah.
I want to be though.
Oh man.
Now, how long have you been on testosterone?
Oh man, it's so hard because I was so inconsistent in the beginning. But I did start like towards the end of 2020, going into 21. But like from 21 through 22, I wasn't like it was like fluctuating of my my day or weekly injections. Sometimes I wasn't taking them, sometimes I didn't go back to my 6 month checkup. So I can't really say where I'm at right now, but for the most part I did start in 2020.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So maybe around
3.
3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
roughly.
Okay, cool. Now, you said you're on injections. How do you feel about the
Oh my
injections?
gosh. So this is so funny. I fucking hate needles. I hate needles. And so I'm like, I told my wife, like, yo, I have to, in order for me to blossom and be myself, I got to do something I extremely hate for the rest of my life. Now, there are, other options, but for right now, I'm fine with the injections. I've gotten over it. At first I seen stuff where they said like put ice at the top of your legs so it can like numb it a little bit. Um, but me, it's a mental thing. I'm like, I could never survive if there was an apocalypse. I can't. Like I had to have my wife inject it for me. We did a whole video about it. We were yelling at each other. It was she's like, "Do it." I'm like, "No, I'm scared." Like I was panicking. It was bad.
I feel you. I feel you, dude. I don't have like a fear of needles, I
Mm,
don't think. But for me, it's like the drawing it up and having to do it every single week
yeah,
is killing me. I
yeah.
used to be bi-weekly and now I'm weekly and it's ruining my life. Absolutely ruining my fucking life. I hate it.
I would rather
I
do
hate it.
bi-weekly. I didn't even know that
Yeah.
was a option.
Yeah, if you maybe just so I was on 100 milligrams of testosterone every
Mm,
2 weeks,
okay,
and now I'm on 50 every week. So it's the
okay.
same like dose, just in like smaller increments. So maybe you can just like do the same thing if you want to be biweekly. You'd have to get your levels checked the shit though. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, hate it.
yeah.
Um, I tell the story all the time, so I'll make it quick for every because I know everybody knows. But the first time took my shot, because you just reminded me, you and your girlfriend were. Did you say girlfriend or wife?
Wife, wife, wife.
Wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and your wife were doing your injections, screaming at each other. It reminded me of the first time I took my shot, and okay, so you know how you draw it up with the 18 gauge needle, and then you switch.
What'd you do?
I drew it up with the 18 gauge and then continued to inject myself with the 18 gauge.
Oh my God. How did that
Yeah.
even?
I guess I wasn't really listening at the doctor's office when they told me how to do it
I'm
the
like, I'm
first
a man.
time.
Let's go. I don't care. Give me my
No, like, cause,
hormones.
dude, have you ever been like trying to like play a card game or a board game with some friends or something, and they're trying to like teach you the
It's
instructions on like or the rules on how to play? That was like, and it's like the monkey with
yeah,
the
the
fucking
cop.
that's yeah, that's all that goes on in my head. That's exactly what was happening in my head when they were trying to teach me how to do my shot.
Yeah.
So that's why I use an 18 gauge to inject. But
Honestly, I felt the same way. She's like, you got to use this to take it out, and then use this to put it in. I'm like, this sounds too fucking complicated. I don't even know if I even want to do it anymore. I don't even want to do it no more.
no, deadass. Like just trans is a choice at that point.
Yeah. And that's what's funny is like people could be homophobic, but like, dude, why if I am not risking my life, but like I am going through this every single day. Like this is not a choice. Like this is from within. Like I have to do this for the rest of my life. Like who would want to do this for the rest of their life?
hmm
You know?
And that's why I hate shot day, because it's a reminder that I have to do it. Yeah, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a whole
thinking
nother.
I'm thinking about switching to gel, just because I feel like I don't know. It's just like a quick put it on
Yeah,
and then continue with your day.
yeah,
But gel is more expensive,
for sure.
sucks. Um, Also, though, I'm afraid I have this like toxic mindset, I think, with gel sometimes, where I feel like all of like my hard work of being on injections and like,
Hmm.
my beard and my jawline, I feel like if I go on gel, it'll all go away.
Yeah,
Even though I know that's not true. It's a weird thing that I have to shave.
yeah. I know. Like I really wanted to do gel, but then the doctor was like, "Well, make sure like if you do it, it has to dry completely, or if you
Hmm
touch someone, it can go on to them." And my wife was like,
Right.
"Oh, hell no. Let's just do these injections until then." So
Oh, hell no. Okay, so I wanna ask you about surgeries a little
yeah,
bit. Have you gotten any? Do you want any in the future?
I definitely do. I do want top surgery. I've been thinking heavily about bottom, but like, I'm just like bottom. I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, if I can, I can. It's
The
whatever.
procedure is too risky, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
so
yeah.
much, you know.
I
Uh,
feel you.
but top surgery for me, I was kind of already like a small like A cup, like B cup in a way. So the more that
Yeah.
I've been on T, the more I've been on T, I've like my chest has gone down, so it's not really noticeable. I still kind of wear a binder. Depends on the
Mhm.
fabric of the shirt, but I don't really
Mhm.
have to. Like right now, I'm not. So I don't like top surgery. Haven't been a rush, but it's definitely something I look forward to for sure.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. That's always good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to get it. It's always a very freeing thing for every trans guy.
So you had top surgery?
Um, I did. Yeah, I got
Oh,
it. I think like 6 years ago or some shit.
okay.
I do you know if you want like because I know you said you have a small chest. Do you know if you want double incision or keyhole or anything?
I don't. I don't. I just want to go with something that will be the fastest healing process.
Mm.
Yeah.
My advice, even though you didn't ask for it.
No, give me everything. My unsolicited advice.
My unsolicited advice would be to go with double incision,
Mhm.
even though keyhole won't give you scars.
Okay.
I did keyhole
Okay.
because I didn't want the scars. I was young and I was like, I don't want the fucking scars. Meh, meh, meh. And I don't really like how my chest turned out.
Mhm.
Could have just been my surgeon. He could have just fucking botched it. Don't know. But but I think double incision kind of like not promises, but
Yeah.
like you're more insured that it will look better. I
Right.
feel
Right.
like
Right. Okay.
I would definitely go double incision, but
Yeah.
I don't know shit at the end of the
Yeah. Do we? Do we? Do we? Do anyone? Any of us know?
day. No, dude, it's like bad. Like all of my episodes, I'm like, I don't know how to do dosage. I don't know what even goes into these surgeries. I have no fucking clue. I don't know why I have a podcast.
Dude, so many people DM me about, oh, what's your dosage? You, as you know, the dosage is on the bottle. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just, I just put it, whatever they give me, I go get it, pick it up, and put it inside. Do I ask questions? No. Why would I? I don't know. So
No,
yeah.
like dead ass. No, like dead ass. I could be injecting estrogen for all I fucking know. Like I truly have no idea.
Oh man.
Okay. So when did you come out as trans?
Um, I came out as trans. I graduated in class of 2019, so I came out after I graduated. Excuse me. I have allergies and like I just found out and I've been fucking dying and it's terrible. But
And you're outside
you know,
too.
like, oh man. But yeah, I graduated 2019. I came out after that. My little story is that like so I was a basketball player and I was very known. Um and when I tore my ACL MCL, I was like, all right, I already know my career is over with. And I did not want to settle for anything less under Division 1. Not to sound like that asshole, but unfortunately I didn't.
No, period. I love it.
And so yeah, when I tore my ACL, MCL, I'm like, all right, I know these coaches are like, at that time, next woman up. So they went to the next better thing, and that's okay. I respect that. And so after then, my wife and I moved out. We are high school sweethearts. So we moved out 17, 18 together. And that's when I was like, well, now I can finally, look into it, being trans. And then when I turned 20, I was like, let's for sure do it now. And in middle school, though, I found out about trans people. This was 10, 11 years ago when I found out, like sixth grade or something. It was 12 or 10 or something like that. And it was about a YouTuber. His name is Benton Sorsen. And he was the first guy I ever seen, like trans man, female to male. And I'm like, oh, you can do this? Like, I didn't know. I thought it was just some like cool ass like magical magician trick like because I always like I loved how guys body looks. My body was very bodacious, very womanly like, and when I mean like dump
He said
truck
bodacious.
dump truck like Megan the Stallion had nothing on me, like I would have beat her. Listen, I hated it though. I hated it. Like I hate it wearing even when I wear guy pants. I'm like, why is my ass still like this? I was so mad,
Why am I double cheeked up right now?
dude. Why? And so that's what like I was like, I want a man body, like the waist, like I wanted it all. And
Mm.
I wanted to play football with my brothers growing up. When I played basketball, I was always playing with men. So I was just like I knew that it was something that I was different and I used to look up like, well, how can you be a man if I'm born this way, and I didn't know it was possible. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but like fortunately for me, I found him through YouTube, and then I started noticing the swarm with everybody else coming. But it wasn't new. He was like in the UK. In America, you know,
Right.
enough said. That's the tweet.
Enough.
That's the
That's the
tweet.
tweet.
America. Yo.
Oh, that fucking got me. I've never heard anybody say that's the tweet. Oh, that's so good. No, ooh, I love that. I feel like that's a lot of trans guys experience. We don't know that trans people exist until we see one person on the internet doing it, and that's why this shit is so important. That's why it's like I'm not saying that everybody has to like put themselves out there on the internet as a trans person, but like it is
Representation.
extremely helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
extremely
matters.
helpful. I remember the trans guy for me was I don't think anyone really knows him, but it's HK Hunter on Instagram.
Hmm.
And I was following him before he was trans and he
Hmm.
had a girlfriend and like I was obsessed with their like lesbian relationship
Yeah.
at the time and I didn't know why. And then and then he came out as trans and I stalked the ever living shit out of him. I was like, why am I so obsessed with you?
Yeah, yeah,
And then like I came out as trans, and I remember one of my friends were like, you remind me of this kid Hunter like a lot, and I was like, oh my god, that's why I liked him so
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
much. So it checks out.
Yeah, it was meant.
Now, yeah. Now, so you saw this guy on YouTube, and then it kind of clicked in your head. You were like, oh, this could be me too.
Yeah.
And then did you come out to everybody shortly after that?
No, because again, I was a Division 1 basketball
Oh,
prospect,
right, right,
and I like not even
right.
trying to toot my own horn, but I definitely, in my city was known, and we traveled different states. I was known, and so like at that time, I'm in middle school, and I'm like, I don't think that that's possible to be a trans man playing Division 1 basketball, or just basketball, period. On a college
Uh-huh.
level. And so there was this trans man though. Their name is Kai Alums, and they went to George Washington University. They were the first trans man. They were black. They were the first trans man to play Division 1 basketball on a women's team. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
they gave me hope. But I was like, but that could never be me though. Like I I did not just see it working. I didn't. So that's why like in high school after I was like, all right, then I'll come out. So
If you could go back and tell yourself that it could have been you, would you?
honestly, yes, because okay, women's basketball, this is a little digression, but it's changed over time. It's gotten a lot of more recognition. And I'm like, you know what? If I would have done that at that time, I probably would have been the face of everything. I probably would
Mm,
have been like the face of Nike. Like I don't fucking know, because truthfully, like now it's gaining a lot of attention. I mean, we got people like Brittany Griner. When she was first like coming into the college world, people were like, "Oh, that's a man. Why is she playing?" All because she was taller, a little bit more muscular, and her voice was deeper. But it's
mhm,
like people don't understand. There's intersex people. There's women with PCOS. Like you don't have to take hormones to have these conditions. And this is another thing, a little digression, but like we all have hormones in us. Like this is
mhm,
what pisses me off about these homophobic or transphobic people. We all have hormones, estrogen and
mhm,
testosterone. Some of us have more estrogen. Some of us have more testosterone. So it's like I'm just taking the hormones that you're gonna deplete of as you get older, that you eventually are going to want to take if you want to continue to look young, fit, and healthier. So
yep,
that's all. Like that's
100%.
literally what it is. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's also like I somebody said it in one of the past episodes that nobody looks at like I think they used like Michael Phelps as an example. Like his lung capacity is bigger than like any
Nobody.
other fucking swimmer cis man, and nobody bats an eye at him.
Is he
Like
disqualified? He's not.
yeah, right. But if a trans woman like had the same attributes as him or whatever, and was playing or was swimming like in a league or whatever the fuck, everyone would be like, no, you're done.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to swim.
you got
Like
powers.
what?
You're able to, I don't know, fucking, I don't fucking know what they be thinking. Like they think we
No, like
have like
it's
some
ridiculous.
boost, like it's an attribute boost,
Right?
like tens across every attribute, speed 80 to 90. Like it don't work like that. I'm still fucking
No,
short.
that has.
Like
It's like I'm honored you think I'm a literal superhero, but I'm not. So, uh, now, okay, so are you still like very into basketball?
no, no. I funny story. Last year, I actually tried out for a minor, like a what's it called, like those minor leagues for basketball, but it was men. And
Mm,
first off, the dynamics of men and women's basketball is completely different. But I went in there thinking I could, and I walked out saying, "Oh hell no, I can't," because yo, the way that men thinks, it's just I couldn't be around that. I could not be around the alpha men and their like ideologies of things. That's one thing that really set me back. And another thing was like I was like, you know what, I haven't played in so long. I don't think I the first time they threw the ball and I tripped and I fell and I'm like, yeah, no. Like I just embarrassed myself. And mind you, I'm already like 5'7" on a good day. I give myself a little normally 5'5" or so, but 5'7" on a good day. And so I'm out here like one of the shortest guys tripping and falling, and these people got experience. My last
mm,
experience was in high school with women, you know, but they don't
mm.
know that. And so like I was definitely like, yeah, I don't know what would happen if they found out I'm trans. So
Yeah. That's so sad. That's heartbreaking though, because like I could tell it was like your passion at one point, and now just because you're trans, you feel like you can't. That sucks. I'm sorry. But I kind of relate to you because I played basketball when I was little, and I loved it. It was my fucking sport, and I was pretty good at it. And I fucking for whatever reason stopped playing for a little while, and then when I was older came back to it before I was trans, and absolutely like I was so uncomfortable and I didn't know why. I was not good. All the girls I felt like were like making fun of me or some shit. And then when I came out as trans, I thought back to that time and I was like, "Oh, like I was uncomfortable because I was playing with a bunch of girls and I wasn't one. Like that's
yeah,
why." You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And if I got back into it now, obviously I wouldn't play with girls, I would play with guys, but no, like the way you just explained it too, I'm like, yeah, no, hell no. I could
Dude,
not do that either.
listen, okay, I don't like public bathrooms, period. But when I have to, like, that's when I'll go in. I can't even walk in a public fucking bathroom of men. And it's like,
Me either.
I think that's every trans man. Like, if we can congregate, that's one thing we
Yeah.
will all like agree on. I can't go in a man's bathroom. And so, like, it's like if I can't do that, then I just knew that I could not be around them for a season. Oh hell no! And like me, I still have feminine mannerisms, talk with my hands and stuff like that. But like, I didn't want them to question me. I didn't want them to be like, "Oh, this is a gay man." Like, I didn't want to have to go through that. And like, I wasn't not gonna be myself. You know, I'm gonna always 100% be myself. But it was just more so of like, you just know how alpha mans are. Like, what if they don't pass me the
Right.
ball because they're suspicious? You know, like
Right.
it's little
Yep.
things. You know?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
That's just how like cis men work, and it's god awful.
yeah.
Like, and then you have to deal with like locker rooms and shit too. Fuck that.
Listen, if I see
Fuck that.
something I'm not trying to see, oh hell no. Which is funny. I've always thought like, in a men's bathroom, of course they got stalls, but like if you go to like a gym, like like a Planet Fitness or something, they just be walking around so free. But that's not gay. But
Yeah,
women
no dead ass.
women literally like, cover up, everything's fine, nothing like that. But man, they free willy just be free willying. But that's not gay.
No, it's so weird. I have this conversation about urinals all the time. It's like for a group of people, cis men, who are very much homophobic and transphobic
Yeah.
most of the time, y'all have no fucking problem
Whipping
whipping your
it up.
fucking dicks out like in front of each other. And like it's weird. It's weird. It's weird, and I don't get it. I'm
dude.
so passionate about the urinal
I agree. I agree. Because I know you're like, mm, like,
subject. Right.
why are you trying to,
And some of them like they like play games and like pee on each other and think it's funny. It's like what the fuck?
dude? But that's not gay. That's
Yeah,
that's
right,
what
right,
boys.
right.
Boys are boys.
It's the worst saying
Oh
known to
my
man.
gosh,
Let boys be boys. I can't with
dude.
that.
What does that even mean?
Right. Like, well, I don't even know. Okay, but so when you figured out you were trans yourself, from what like how long did it take you to come out to everybody after that?
Truthfully, so excuse me. So for me, man, I wasn't really close with my family, so my family found out through TikTok. One of my TikToks blew up, and my TikTok basically was saying like, it sucks when you're trans and you don't have like family support, and so a big um his name is Conscious Lee. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a popular TikToker, and he's just a man that speaks on awareness of topics, and he's black and stuff, and so like he reposted my video, and I got like so much attention, and I give him credits because I wouldn't be, where I'm at without him, and so or at least a part of my journey, and so like when that video of his blew up, that's when my mom texted me because she was commenting on my videos, and so everybody else was attacking her. And I was laughing like, "Eat her ass up, take her away. I don't care." And so I would see her comment like arguing back with people, and it's like that's what you get though because like people like that, they're so small minded. They think that everyone you know, agrees. And it's like not like that. So that happened like
Right.
when I was maybe 21. So like in 2021, I would say. So a little bit, yeah, I was probably like 6, 7 months on T.
Okay. Now, are you close with your family now or no?
Absolutely not. And it's not really because major a little bit of it is because I'm trans, but other it's really for like other personal reasons. But
Got you.
the trans part does play like a little tiny factor as to why.
Now, did any of your family reach out to you when they found out through TikTok or no?
Um, I mean, my cousins, like two of my cousins, they were like, I still love you, and like, that you don't change yourself. Some of them were like, I knew something was gonna happen because I was already a masculine woman, so I was kind of already pre. But
Mhm.
honestly, I wish that I would have known that when I was a stud, that like I, not that I didn't have to take tea, but like at that time I felt like I had to only be masculine woman, if that makes sense. Like I didn't know that I could be a masculine woman and like just still be feminine at the same time. I felt like
Right.
since I was a masculine woman, I had to be just straight up masculine. And so, yeah, I don't know how to
Okay.
really explain it.
No, I get you. I
Yeah.
get you. Do you feel now like now that you've been on testosterone and stuff, do you feel more comfortable showing maybe those feminine sides of yourself?
Yeah. In the beginning, it was hard though because I made like several YouTube videos about this, but like I would, ask my wife like, do you still like me in a way of if I do express my femininity, and she's like, I love you regardless. I don't care about none of that. So she helped me a little bit, like because at first I was like, you know what, I do need to be masculine. I do need to be those alpha bros. But in a way of like not to fit in, but I was trying to find my identity as a trans man. Like who I wanted to be. This is my new person. Like to hell with my past. I gotta step into the new. What is my new for me, and what does that look like for me? And I struggle with finding out like who I wanted to be, but in reality, it was just always me. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I love that. Good for you, dude. I think it's very hard to as a trans man especially to be in touch with your more feminine side just because we obviously most of us have so much dysphoria surrounding our feminine attributes that like I don't know, once we're comfortable in our own bodies for the most part, it's like okay, now I feel like I can be a little bit more feminine, but are people in public going to see me as a woman now, or are they going to see me as a gay man? Do I want them to see me as a gay man? Do I care? All these questions kind of come up, and it makes it very, very hard. So,
I
props to
agree.
you, dude. You're doing great.
Thanks, thanks. I definitely agree with that for sure. Especially like around 6, 7, 8 months of me transitioning, and I live in Florida, so beaches everywhere. My wife was
Mhm.
like, "Take your shirt off, free the nips," and so like, again, I kind of have like a small chest, so yeah, it's like, all right, those are women boobs, but at the same time, it's like, but you don't look like a woman, so it was like questioning. So I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
all right, fuck it. And I just at the beach, just open chest, so I don't care. Like,
Good.
yeah,
As you fucking should. That takes the biggest fucking balls. Good for you.
thanks, thanks,
Good for fucking
dude,
you. I
thanks.
love that. I saw you on TikTok too doing that, and I was like, you know what? That I feel like a lot of trans men are so afraid to do that,
Yeah,
and I don't blame them for being scared. But like, I don't know.
yeah.
There's a lot of people. Did you get any hate for that on TikTok?
It's so funny because okay, I see hate. Excuse me. Oh gosh. I see hate as just lack of education. So that's what ignorant means, to lack education on the topic. And so a lot of them would just be like, first off, a lot of people don't even know what I'm transitioning as. They don't know if I'm male to female or female to male. And so that's why it's always hilarious. They'll be like, "You'll never be a woman," and I'm like, "All right, you prove my point. Thank you. The fuck."
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. I
like
appreciate
you're helping
it.
me. And some of them would be like, those are still like considered woman boobs or whatever. And I just laugh at those because it's like, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here for my people. You felt the need to comment. I didn't tell you to comment. So you wanted to get that off your chest. Now that you did, how you feel? I don't like, would that change up? Am I
Right.
gonna cry in the corner because you're like, those are still women boobs? All right, well, guess what? I take testosterone at the end of the day. I feel who I am. You're just probably upset because you see that I'm feeling myself and I don't feel weird or uncomfortable in my
Right. Yeah.
body. So,
Yeah, and it's like what you said. Do you feel better? Like, do you feel good about yourself? No. Like, they're not gonna. It doesn't. It's not gonna make them happier. You know what I mean? Like, I've never made like a hate comment to anybody, but I've commented on videos that I like disagree with,
yeah, yeah,
and I like wrote an angry-ish message and like thought it would make me feel better.
yeah,
It doesn't. I don't feel better after sending that comment. So
yeah.
like, what it I feel like we should all just like learn from that maybe and stop hate commenting. Like it doesn't change
What was
anything,
the reason? Like, literally, for what?
right? Like your voice does not matter that much. Like by the way, like um so okay.
Yeah,
Actually, since we're talking about TikTok and hate comments a little bit, um we'll go there and then we'll go back to our main topic. Um Now I know you just talked about how you cope with it and stuff mentally. You kind of just shake it off and it's like
yeah.
whatever. Like you're not changing my life. But does making content cuz you're TikTok, you're popping off on TikTok, dude.
Thanks,
You're doing wonders for the trans
thanks.
community. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you,
You're giving a lot of you're educating a lot of people. You're showing what it's like to be trans, and I love it.
thank you,
But how does making content help or maybe hurt your transition at all, do you think?
man. I feel like it helps a lot. I'm honestly, when I first started this, I didn't know the direction of what I wanted to do with trans content. I've seen a lot of other, sorry, I've seen a lot of other trans people,
You're
whether it
good.
was male to female or female to male, just kind of do what everybody else do on TikTok and TikTok dance and renegade and shit. And so I'm like, how do I want to come into this space. And I wasn't scared at first because on YouTube I talk about it, but I didn't want to talk about it because my YouTube channel is completely different of something else, a different niche. And so when I went on TikTok, I was like, you know what, I just need that representation. And TikTok's easier because it spreads out more. And so like for me, I feel like it helps a lot for representation for Black queer people, for just trans people, and maybe they want a refresher of the trans community. We need more like, you know, laughter, more happiness of the trans, of like the effects of being trans, and I feel like that's just what I bring to the table, just completely different everything of the trans community on TikTok. I don't think I like another person, you know. I want to just be different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now, you do talk about black trans representation a lot on your TikTok page, and
Hmm.
obviously think that's super important. And I have a couple questions I want to
Thanks.
ask you about
Okay.
that, if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Um, Now, I know the answer, but do you think that black queer people have enough representation in the media today?
Absolutely not. Like it's annoying in a way, and lesbians, don't fight me when I say this. I am so tired. I'm so tired of the black lesbians in shows and movies. Like just lesbians period. I'm tired of seeing lesbians. Damn.
Honestly, somebody had to say
Somebody, and I'll be the one. I don't care. I'll take all the stray bullets. I'm tired of you lesbians.
it.
But no, like no. Um
I love it.
Seriously though, it's like it's definitely that. Every time there's some type of LGBTQ representation, it's a black lesbian, and like majority of the time they're not with maybe another black person or a melanated person. It's just the same storyline, and it just gets so tiring. And it's like we need more of everything, like everybody. I don't care. And when it comes to, because I went to acting school, I would love to be an actor, and I've seen a lot of when there's trans representation, there's always them being trans. I don't want to just be trans. I want to be me. I want a role where I can be just that guy. Not later on throughout the script, you gotta reveal that I'm trans. Like I do like the trans
Yeah,
representation, you know, but like just here and there, not like every
right.
role. Like you know, it's tiring. But like definitely
100%.
on the black representation for sure. Like enough of the black lesbians. We need more of black gay men, black trans men, black non-binary people. Everybody, not just the lesbians.
Yeah, the lesbians. I, you know why though? I feel like lesbians get, I don't know, they're put higher than everybody else because everything is always through the cis male gaze. You know what I mean? And that's what cis
Sexualized.
men want to see. They
Yeah,
want it. Yeah, they sexualize the shit out of lesbians. And I hear you. I'm tired of seeing it as well. There's so much more to the queer community. And especially, black people in general don't get enough representation no matter who they
yeah,
are, no
yeah,
matter how they identify.
yeah.
So I hear you. I hear you for sure. Now, how do you want to see black queer or black trans people represented? How can society, do better at giving them representation?
Honestly, I just feel like just stop putting us in a box. Like, and that can be for so many different things. Like I'm just first off, as humans, we're all art. We're all art in this big ass museum gallery. Why do I have to be like the next portrait aside from like on the side of me? I don't want to be like that. And so when you walk out into the world as a black person, people immediately look at you as that same portrait frame that they just walked past 5 seconds ago. And that's not me. Like every black person is different, have their own type of, flavor, suave, whatever to them. And as a queer person, it's important for black queer people to know that you are not your environment. You are not where you come from. It's about where you're going and where you're headed, where you want to be, who you want to be. And a lot of that's why I feel like I'm doing what I'm doing so black queer people can look at my wife and I. She's a Afro Latina Dominican, and look at us like you can do the impossible no matter how impossible, unrealistic, I hate that word, it might seem to people. You can do that. Break all the boundaries because at the end of the day, there's none.
Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah,
that because I feel like I this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time,
yeah,
but I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. So I've been waiting for somebody who is knowledgeable on it to talk about it. So I very much appreciate you shedding light on it. And I appreciate what you're doing on TikTok. You very much are giving people or spreading education for the black trans community, which is so important because again, trans people don't get enough representation as it is,
Yeah,
especially trans men,
yeah.
and especially black trans
Trans
men.
people, yeah.
Like, I talk about all the time how trans men are literally forgotten about all the time. And like, take that and then think about black trans men. Like,
And you know
that's
what?
crazy.
I'm
You know
gonna
what I
go
mean?
into this a little bit before we move on. All right, so we already covered basically that lesbians are sexualized. That's why they get more media and they get more this and that. When it comes to that,
Hmm.
so it's funny because I'm like, well, you guys sexualize trans people, specifically trans women. I mean, both ends, but trans women. So if you're secretly watching and liking trans women, right? Why is it you have such a problem? It's not the trans woman, it's a you problem. So the reason why trans people don't have that media, it's because the world operates on a patriarchal system that when they see a trans woman, they're like, how do you get rid of your masculinity? Why don't you want to be a man? And how do you immediately get surgery? Which, by the way, any trans person can vouch for this. Nobody gets surgery immediately. Like, first off, too
Hmm.
expensive. Second off, a lot of complications. And third of all, like majority of the times, people just be comfortable with what they were already got, you know?
Hmm.
So
Right.
when there's no media coverage, it's because you have people like us where we already fit into the patriarchal system just by how people perceive us on first glances at our avatar. They're like, that's a man already. So what do we really need to do to get more recognition when they're like, well, you're already a man, so like if you kind of follow my drift here, like if I were to act in a show and you will only know if I'm trans if you follow me, if you know who I am. But nine times out of ten, whoever
Right.
that director is, the only way they'll put you that you're trans for the representation if they got you shooting yourself up with your
Hmm.
injections on the show or movie. So
Right.
it's like a lot of factors into it, but I just wish that everybody just can seek the fulfillment and representation that they need, and I really hope one day I can do that for everybody. Like I really want to inspire a lot of people to just be on the screen, whether it's YouTube, I don't care, but put yourself out there, do it, no matter how scary it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And I think that you are doing that through your content. So, hell yeah. Um, Now, do you have any black trans slash queer creators that you've looked up to throughout your transition?
Myself, really,
Yeah, period.
truthfully, no. Like literally myself. It's been me versus me this whole time. I mean, that's what life is: you versus you. Like try to, better yourself, and you just like. I was a huge overthinker. I'm fixing my words on that because I don't want to say I am, but I definitely was a huge overthinker. And a lot of people don't know, but when you take tea, not that it alters your brain, but your perception does, a little alter a little bit.
Right.
And so yeah, I definitely was like battling myself a lot. And, I just came to accept the terms of a lot of things. And I just feel like when you become content with who you are, that's when you can give out to the world. And that's
Mm,
just been my goal to show everybody like you got to be happy first. Like how can you love someone else if you don't love yourself?
period. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yep. And it's like a cliche saying, but it's like
It's
so
true.
fucking true.
It
It's
goes
so true.
right over everybody's head.
Right. Yeah. You cannot love another person. You cannot spread love. You cannot give happiness to other people until you are happy with yourself. Because then you're just gonna be like a miserable shit all the time that nobody wants to be around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Oh my god, literally. Oh yeah.
um Another question I wanted to
Mhm.
ask you was, are there specific challenges you face as a black trans man that you feel are often overlooked or not understood?
Um, Before, yes, like in 2020, that's when like it was more political with like the George Floyd and BLM movement, I was definitely scared to transition because I did not want to be looked at as an everyday black man, how people already stereotypically look at black men. So I was definitely in fear. But that's my purpose. I want people to take their fear and make it into a beautiful butterfly. That scary fear caterpillar and make it into a beautiful butterfly, because that's what holds you back is fear. How can you be afraid of something that you don't even know the outcome of? You know, we're like systemically ingrained to naturally be feared, but like you just got to take that leap of faith, and that's definitely like that's just where I'm at.
End the tweet. That's the end of the tweet
Yeah,
right
that's
there. I
just,
love it. No, period. I absolutely love that. Another almost kind of off topic question for you. Do you want to be seen as a cis man in your life right now?
oh, absolutely not. Like I like to say I'm just here. I guess that's what non-binary means. Not that I guess because I know what it means, but I just hate labels. Like I'm just a floating atom. I'm just a speck. Like I'm just here. I don't want to feel the pressures by society or anybody to just put me in a box. Like I'm tired of it. As a black person, I go through it. As a queer person, I got to go through it. F the boxes. Like I said, we are all walking portraits in this big ass museum. Why do I want to be the next portrait? Like, stop putting me in the same box. So I like to say I'm non-binary, but I don't like labels. I'm just here. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
People give other people labels just so they can put
ha-
them down.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's really sad. That's kind of how I feel. I mean, I identify as a trans man,
yeah,
but like it's always weird when I say that out loud. You ever feel like that? Like it's weird when you say it because you're right. Like I'm just fucking living. Like I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I am, bro. Like I'm a human. I don't know. Like the fuck.
I definitely agree. There's
So I feel you.
like sometimes my wife like she braids hair, and so she have her clients in, and she will talk about our relationship, and I'll hear them say, or like the client would be like, "Oh, well, you're a man," and I'm like, "Ugh, it gives me the yuck." Like, don't call me a man. I don't know if that's a trans person thing or us and non-binary thing. I don't know, but I don't want to be a cis man. If there was another word for trans man other than trans man, something cooler. I don't know. I've been hearing Autobots. I don't know. Uh,
Autobots roll out.
yeah. All the trans people come out the fucking trees and bushes like ninjas.
Oh, I want to live to see that one day. That's fucking
Yo, that
hilarious.
would be funny.
Transformers 6 in theaters.
Hear you.
uh,
Oh man.
okay, so one more question, and
Yeah.
I think you've already answered it, but
Hmm.
in case you have a different answer,
Yeah.
do you have any advice that you want to give to other blacks, queer slash trans people?
Do I have any advice? Do I have any advice? Advice to watch me. No, but seriously, the advice I want to give you is to just be yourself. People are gonna judge you. People are gonna shoot arrows at you, and you take those same arrows, stop them, and shoot them back at them because you should not let anyone try to dim your light. You should not let anyone try to put you down because they can never find themselves. I think as queer people, we have a little bit of everybody have their own issues, but we have a little one up from heterosexuals in a way of we already know a sense of ourselves and they don't. Personality wise, my wife and I like to call them sponges. There's people that soak up your personality and just hop from different people. Nobody knows them, they don't know themselves. And so when you know yourself and you can step into your light, your authenticity, yeah, that's the word, something like that. Fucking English.
Authenticity.
Authenticity, there you go. When you can do that, of course people are gonna try to put you down because
Mm,
they don't know what that's like for them. That's why I laugh at
right.
all the comments because I'm content with me. I know me well enough that your words don't hurt me. It's just a simple matter.
Period, King. I love that. I love it. Good fucking shit. Um, I appreciate you giving me your time today. I mean, I think this was probably one of the most important conversations that I've had on HRT. I know we just met, but I'm very, very proud of you and what you're doing. You should be
Thank
very,
you.
very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Um, Now, real quick
Hmm.
before we end it, give me your trans song of the week. What did you pick?
Okay, I picked "Star Walking" by Lil Nas X. I resonate
Fuck
with
yeah.
him, so I love Lil Nas, and I'm so proud and happy for him. A little digression: why the freak do people equate coming out as Illuminati or some form of like people forcing you, like they tie you up, put a gun to your head, and like be gay and show everybody in the world to be gay? It don't work like that. I need for all y'all to take that shit out y'all mind. But
For real,
yeah,
dude.
I love Lil Nas
Like
X.
it's 2024. Like somebody can be gay and like write music and dance and do their fucking thing and it's not the fucking Illuminati. Like are we okay? Like that's a fucking stretch.
This the
Damn.
biggest stretch I've ever seen in the world. A man paint their nails. He's gay. Okay, I didn't know that painting your nails were fucking gay. Like, but what I realized is that people just hate femininity. That's really what it is.
I was just about to say that. I love you.
Right minds think
Yes.
alike.
Hell yeah. People don't actually hate gay people. They never have. It's
Yeah,
femininity that they
that ain't
don't
really.
like, which is
Yeah,
a fucking problem.
it's weird.
Horrible.
It's weird.
I love Lil Nas X though. I'm happy you made that your trans song of the week. For anybody who wants to give that a listen, that will be in the description below.
Yeah,
And I appreciate you sharing that.
yeah. Thank you.
Now, Mateo, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at MVPMT and on YouTube at Ash and Theo TEO Adventures. A Ash and Theo Adventures on YouTube. Um, I'm always active on YouTube, so yes.
Word. Do you want to plug your TikTok as well?
Oh, I forgot about that. Most importantly, TikTok at
Got you.
MVPMT. Go check that out, guys.
Word. Yeah, those will be on screen for anybody who wants to follow and support Mateo. I 100% think you should because he's
Thank
doing
you.
amazing things on all platforms,
Thank
and that
you.
will all those things will also be in the description below. Go give him a follow, and make sure you follow me at HRT Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. I post almost every single day. Subscribe to me on here. I drop podcast episodes every Tuesday. I stream video games with my friends every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Join my Discord. I got a lot of trans people hanging out, having a good time in my Discord server, and you're very much missing out if you're not in it.
Period.
And last but not least, I am literally begging on my fucking knees for you to subscribe to my Patreon.
Right now.
I have a lot of yeah, right fucking now. I have a lot of bonus content out on there from past episodes, from After Dark episodes. Oh, After Dark. I drop videos for After Dark every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Uh, Go watch some of those. Go support that. I would appreciate it. And yeah, that's about it. Turn on my post notifications because
Please.
I be posting a lot now. So make sure you please go do that.
I have them
And yeah,
on.
go follow.
Go follow.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, go
I love you,
tune
bro. You're the
everything.
best.
No, you're the best. That's why they need to go follow you on everything.
No, go follow Mateo. Don't follow me. Go follow Mateo.
Follow both of us, and if you don't, just know.
Right. You're canceled. You're
Yeah.
canceled if you don't. All right. Thank you so much for your time today, Mateo. This was an awesome fucking episode, and I appreciate you.
No, thank you. I'm greatly like appreciative towards you. I'm glad, now we can build a relationship together. You're awesome, and I love you, dude. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, dude. I think if you live near me, bro, like even if we don't, we're gonna be best friends. Like
Period.
you are my type of person.
Dude,
I
same
think I just
here.
found my soulmate.
I swear to God. And I'm going to New York in September, so we'll DM each other.
Period.
We'll talk about it.
Period. I love to hear it.
We'll talk
Let's
about
go.
it. Yeah.
All right, guys. I will see you next week. I love you so much. Bye.